Well, maybe we'll just go ahead and get started.
Fantastic.
And thank you very much, Steve and Robyn, for being willing to join us today and give us some information about how you are recruiting students into your CE programs. That is what we're going to talk about, and I will turn it over to you. So
awesome. We're excited to be here. We're hoping that some of the things that we share are of interest and are things that you feel like you can implement in each of your programs. For some of you, some of the things we're going to show might be repeats, but we're hoping to at least show something that is exciting. And so I'm going to start us off. I'm Steve Pugmire. I work at UVU in the Concurrent Enrollment Office as the Associate Director. And then Robyn is, she and I are presenting together. Robyn's from Maple Mountain. Sorry, Robyn, I know you can talk for yourself.
You go right ahead.
So I'll start us off. I want to talk today just about how we market to students. I've kind of broadened it up for not just students, but also just in general, how we market the program to different stakeholders, we'll call them. And so with that, let me share my screen. Can everybody see that okay? Awesome. So thought this would be a fitting title. Concurrent enrollment, never heard of it. Just kidding. But with that being said, we wanted to talk again just about the marketing aspect of concurrent enrollment, because there are a ton of different stakeholders and different areas that can be focused on and sometimes overlooked. So with that, I wanted to start with some student-focused marketing. And one of the big things, we've always had a social media presence in concurrent enrollment. However, as of January, this is the first time that we've actually branched over into Instagram. And so we're excited. We have a goal of getting a couple thousand followers, making this a really fun, interactive, engaging page. We've done, to kind of do the kickoff for our social media page, we've done, what do you call them, drawings and whatnot. We tried to make it very engaging for the students. Previous to this, we used Facebook, and it was a very kind of matter-of-fact type page with, here are our deadlines coming up. There'll still be a little bit of that, but we're trying to make this a lot more fun and make it kind of a primary social media page for our student demographic. So that's one area that we're excited about. We've also, with the help of another individual in our office, we now have access to a mass emailing system. And with our marketing folks over our division, we've strategically come up with a plan on different email campaigns. And so, and also with the help of our school partners and whitelisting our email accounts from UVU, we have a broader reach with this. And our email campaigns range from anywhere from advisor information to this one that you're looking at right now is from the spring semester. It was just an update or a reminder of, hey, deadlines are coming up for registration. And we also plan to make this a little bit more fun, but this is a new launch that we're excited about. And then this is maybe one of our most exciting announcements. And this is recognizing milestones. We know that concurrent enrollment is, for lack of a better term, a bridge into higher education for students. It's an opportunity for them to participate at a level that's appropriate for them, whether it's 1 class, 2, 3, or all the way up to an associate's degree. And so we like to look at, on our side, concurrent enrollment is not the end of a student's journey. It's more of they've reached another milestone, graduating high school. And so what you're looking at here is we're currently in the vendor phase, we'll call it. So we're working with an outside vendor to get this from a digital form into like a physical, tangible cords and medals. And so what you're looking at here on the left-hand side of your screen, those cords and that little nice kind of display is, right now, our plan is to give this to every concurrent enrollment student that has participated, even in just 1 class. If you've done a concurrent enrollment class, you are eligible for this cord package. You can wear it during your high school graduation, all the way up to if you've obtained an associate's degree, you can wear it during your UVU graduation if you walk there as well. And on the right-hand side, that medal is something that will be given to students who have declared their intent to continue their education on at UVU. So we're excited about this. We've run into a couple of hiccups with our vendor, and we're trying to work through them as far as pricing goes. Nothing about the design. And so we're hoping to have this. We've got our fingers crossed that these will be ready by the end of the school year. But worst case scenario, they will be up and ready to go and distributed to students who qualify for these this upcoming school year or next school year. So on the high school side, we've recently changed the recognitions that we offer our high school partners. Previous to this year, we offered awards based on growth, and they were growth in different forms, whether it was the most percentage of students of the student body taking concurrent enrollment, or literally having the largest amount of students taking concurrent enrollment. We got together as a staff. We wanted to revamp these awards. And this year, so we've started this for this year, we've come up with 3 different awards that are no longer, we technically have a 4th award that I left off of here, and it is based on growth. And it's more of, if you're a concurrent enrollment program or a high school that has grown from 200 students to 201 from one year to the next, our office is bringing out a nice set of gourmet caramel apples to give to your staff. Our way of saying thank you, great job. You've reached just one more student, that type of thing. These awards that are on your screen right now with what the actual award looks like on the right-hand side there, these awards are based on our department goals and also UVU's goals as a whole. So the first one, the Diversity and Inclusion Award, goes to our high school partners that have the highest amount of increase of underserved students from one year to the next. That information is compiled from admission applications and the voluntary information on there. So that's how that information is compiled. The Momentum Award goes to schools that have the highest amount of QL Math and English 1010 completions. So we, at the end of our enrollments for a given semester, we look at which school has the most QL Math and English 1010 completions, and that's how those awards are allotted. Finally, the Completion Award goes to schools that have the highest amount of general education certificates completed. And so we're excited about these. There is some data that supports some of these awards in the sense of completion down the road. So we're excited about the possibility of contributing to the longevity of student success. And so that's kind of how we focus things on the high school side. And then we also wanted to share our teacher-focused marketing. And so with that, this project, what you're looking at right here on the screen, is not the exact project that we are putting together. It's kind of a placeholder image. Currently, UVU for new incoming students offers a green box, is what they call it. And it's got a couple of swag items in there, an official welcome letter. And with that, we kind of wanted to take from the prospective student services, the recruiting office, and offer something to our teachers. And the whole thought is, if you are happy in your employment, you feel recognized, you feel valued, then our hope is that naturally you talk about the thing that's making you happy. For example, in this case, your job. And so our idea is targeting our instructors and giving them a feeling of, we value you, because we honestly we do, but we are trying to put together a nice swag box that has things that they can put up in their classroom to make their territory in their classroom more UVU focused, as opposed to just saying, congratulations, welcome, here's a folder with some information you need to know. Who doesn't like opening up a nice box with some stuff in it, right? And so that's kind of our focus with this project. We are in the early phases. This is a collaboration between our office and our recruiting office on campus, but we're in the early phases of discussing what's going to be in this box. We've thrown around ideas like a redeemable coupon for a t-shirt, like a nice t-shirt that our office puts together, a lanyard, a water bottle, a pennant, flag, that type of thing, just things that will be used and things that can be kept in the classroom and make it like a UVU territory. And so we wanted to focus on the welcome of the teachers. Once they're in, the next focus we have, and this is another ongoing project that we have just initiated. We're in the design phase with our designers on this one, but these are a couple of sneak peek designs for what you're looking at. But once you're a teacher that's in the program, we also want to recognize your milestones and your accomplishments to the program. And so what you're looking at here are some commemorative like coins, little collectible coins. We've broken these down into, so these are possible designs. We've broken these down into potential tiers. So it's going to be every 5 years you can collect a new coin, just saying, congratulations, you've reached another milestone as a concurrent enrollment teacher. And so the first, so 5 and 10 years in the concurrent enrollment program, you'll get a bronze looking coin with a nice little design on it. And then 15 and 20, it'll be silver coins. And then 25 and 30 are gold coins. And the idea is that you can collect these. They're small enough that you can keep them whether on your desk or at your home. And it's just one small token, no pun intended, token and coins, but one small token of our appreciation to say, we're really grateful to be working with you. We recognize you, we see you. And so these are a couple of projects that we have on the horizon that are either done or in close to or production phases. Any questions about this from a university side before I turn it over to Robyn to talk about the high school side?
Those are really awesome.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah, that's exciting.
I have some questions. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So just in regards to everything that was just mentioned, for the emailing that you guys are doing, how are you guys getting that list from like the students that have already done concurrent enrollment, or how does that one work?
Yeah, that's a great question. Initially, so right now, the list that we have is strictly based on students who have been admitted because we unfortunately can't identify students who have the intention of participating, but don't make that known through an admission application. But we are completely open to the opportunity to partner with schools and maybe obtain lists of students that we could email and send them emails. We promise not to spam students with these emails. When I said campaigns and mass campaigns, it's not like we're going to do 100 emails in 100 days, that type of thing. It's more of anytime something important comes up, like a scholarship opportunity or a deadline, it's more of that. So yeah, great question, Candy. And we can talk more about that and maybe collaborating on having a more robust list that captures more students.
Yeah, for sure. And then I had 2 more questions. And the next question was, when are you guys going to start giving the high school awards? Is it this year or next school year?
So those awards have all been given out this year. One thing I didn't mention is that part of the restructuring of our awards, we have rearranged our schools to be a little bit more competitive. Previously, it was Alpine School District competed against each other, Provo School District, Nebo, and sometimes our charters that are a little smaller and our private schools that are a little smaller are lumped into trying to compete with some of these bigger schools. And it just seemed a little lopsided as far as results go. It seemed like some of the same schools were winning year after year. So as part of that restructuring, we've actually broken up schools into small, medium, and large school categories. And essentially what that entails, the rocket science behind that is simply student headcount. So the small school category is 1 to like 999 students. The medium is 1,000 to another number, and then the large school, it takes kind of the additional schools that are bigger. And so instead of that, now it's just more of schools are competing against each other that are similar in headcount. So that's kind of what we're trying. We have actually, and that also increases our award amounts that we're giving out. So instead of giving out 3 awards during the entire year, we're giving out 9 now. So 3 per school category, small, medium, and large. So those have actually, we started in the fall giving those awards out, and we just finished them in the early spring.
And is there like a way for us to know, like, for example, like a target percentage that we need to have in order to get those awards?
Yeah, that's a great question. As of right now, because the awards are brand new, so like, for example, the school that won the completion award, which is the most general education certificates completed, they had like 10, 11, or 12 of them. Like, it wasn't a super high number. So as of this year, and my assumption is, oh, look, Robyn's bragging over there with her award. My assumption is that we'll probably have to do some like data comparisons over the next like year or two, just to see what those numbers are looking like. And then we could potentially put out some benchmarks of, this is kind of what you're shooting for. But as of right now, since they're brand new, I would essentially say we're in like the pilot or the experimental phase of how these awards are working, if that makes sense.
Yeah. We just gotta try really hard to keep that. Okay, and then I have one last question. For that swag box that you guys are going to give to the new teachers, are you guys going to initially give them to instructors that are already part of the program? Okay.
Yeah, great question. We actually, for round one, we're going to give the box to every single instructor that is an active teacher in the program. And then after that, each year, new instructors are added to the fold. Then as part of their incoming training or their onboarding, they'll get this swag box, this welcome box, just to get them set up initially.
Okay.
And we're also looking at giving those to, the discussion came up of our facilitators and potentially our like CE coordinators like you, Candy. And so that way you've got stuff in your classroom as well. So that is also being taken into consideration to make sure that our flag, for lack of a better term, is planted all throughout the school within our service area.
Yeah, for sure. I think Lisa has a question.
Hey, Steve, I'm here with Candy.
Hey, Lisa.
That swag box, is that given to them through the CE training? At what point in time, I guess, is what I'm asking. Where's that going to be given to the teacher?
Lisa, will you say that again? I don't think I caught the question.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, repeat it.
Yeah. Where are you going to give the box?
When are you guys giving the boxes out? Would it be through training, the CT training, or when?
Yeah, like, are you talking about in a given year, like once they're up and running, when do they go out?
Yes, you know how they have to come to the concurrent enrollment training.
So you know how they have to come to the concurrent enrollment training?
Yeah.
Is that when you guys give them?
Yeah, exactly. They'll predominantly, because the instructor application for the upcoming fall for us is March 15th. So typically around there and after is when those trainings are conducted. So I would say predominantly they're going to be in the spring semester, with the occasion of sprinkling them throughout the fall, depending on if it's a new teacher coming on for the spring of the upcoming year, if that makes sense.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Robyn, it's all you.
Brandon, did you have a question? I saw that your hand was raised.
Yeah, I had a quick question for Steve. So with the awards, do you guys have like an event where you hand those out? Do you bring your partners together and then divvy out those awards, or do you just deliver them to the high school?
Yeah, great question. And then, so I feel like we're probably going to say this, or we've said this a lot over the past year in different respects, but in a normal year, part of that award process is a couple of representatives from our office going out to the award-winning school and bringing in a catered lunch and then delivering the award that way, sitting down with them during one of their lunch periods and giving them just a nice little experience with that. And usually it involves the principal or an administrator taking pictures with the awards and whatnot. But that's what we would usually do. This year it was more of, we removed ourselves from the lunch aspect of it, but we still sent lunch over to them along with dropping off the award.
Awesome.
Who doesn't like free food, right? If you just have to walk down the hall to eat it. So
Is that all the questions for Steve? I just wanted to make sure. If you have questions, we can always kind of come back to it also. I'm going to put in the chat a link to the Google Doc that I'm going to be showing on my screen, and it should be to where anybody can view it. Let me share my screen real quick and get to my right screen. Okay. I'm gonna make you guys smaller. Okay. I know everybody hates when you say that. Can you see the Maple Mountain Concurrent Enrollment meeting? Okay, good. So I'm just gonna kind of go through what we do. Our main university partner is UVU, but I also have concurrent enrollment through SLIC and Weber State. So I feel like I need to give them a shout out since Brandon and Nicole are also here. So, but most of what I'm going to go over is UVU since, you know, I'm presenting with Steve. So don't make him feel bad. So what I do for my concurrent enrollment, kind of how I get information out to students and to parents. And they're not really in particular order, but just to kind of go through some things that I do. So we have a sophomore orientation every August. And in that orientation, it's kind of where students have a chance to come to the school. It's usually the first week of August, and student council runs that, and it gives a chance for kids to kind of walk around, get their bearings, that sort of thing. And they talk about different activities at the school. And they've always invited me to come on stage and do a quick presentation about concurrent enrollment. And so I get up there and I talk to all the sophomores. A lot of them have parents, and we talk about what concurrent enrollment is. And then we have what we call the student concurrent enrollment kickoff. And this is where we invite any student who wants to participate in concurrent enrollment to come to the class. This is also done the first week of August. Even with COVID this last year, we usually have over 100 students and parents come to that. It's usually through probably 2 days or so that I offer it. If you look at that flyer, you can kind of see how we advertise it. We share that on our social media pages, as well as an email will go out. This year we had to do a sign up. And so we did a sign up genius where people could sign up for specific times and kind of be able to come and get extra help from me on registering for UVU or actually just signing up for the classes, that sort of thing. And then I also set up a website 2 years ago, which kind of goes through a lot of different things for concurrent enrollment. And the link to that is on our main schools page. And so the first page is just basic Maple Mountain. It's pretty heavy on the UVU, just because they are our main partners and we have so many of the classes from that school. I added the COVID-19 last spring. Working with 3 universities in my own school, I thought I was going to have a stroke trying to keep up with all of the changes every week. And then I kind of would delete them as new policies would come into place. But we kind of kept things on there. Our school had to go to an alternate schedule in November. And so I just had kind of put on there that UVU had approved that schedule, that sort of thing. Also on our webpage, we have the course offerings. So students can find all of the CRNs for the UVU courses and also deadlines. I have deadlines probably in about 20 different places so that kids know deadlines actually matter when you get to the university level of things. On how do I register? We created the kind of this tutorial on how to register for classes. And I was gonna try and pull it up a little bit bigger. So I created this tutorial a couple of years ago, and let's give myself a shout out. UVU liked it so much it was on their webpage, but I created this step-by-step, stole all their graphics without permission, and then created a step-by-step tutorial on how to actually register for courses. And I think SLIC has one that's similar. I don't know who created it. I've also created one similar to this for my SLIC classes. But I only have one class that's offered through Salt Lake Community College. So I just go into that class and do everything with the student step by step. They don't really have to do anything on their own. And the same thing for my Weber classes. We don't have any Weber this year, but normally we do. Anyway, so I do that tutorial on there. We have a credit planner, which goes over how do the classes align up with how UVU wants it for degrees. So we have like our English classes, QL classes, history, general core, and then we have an advanced learning center in our district where we have a lot of the upper level college courses where they can do live interactive or face-to-face. And so this course planning credit planner is kind of nice for people to see how they can save money on classes and where the classes kind of fall. And then under the more section, I have if they want to do an associate's degree or a gen ed certificate, kind of talked a little bit about that. And then we have Reba Vest, who's our advisor, and then they can even click on that. It takes you straight to Reba's registration where they can sign up for an appointment with her. And then on my Slick and Weaver pages, I have just some basic information. I need to update this because I know Slick is getting rid of the waived fee. So I have that on here that it'll be waived next year for that admissions fee. And then I also have Weber State underneath here. So we didn't have any, like I said, this year for Weber State, but we will next year. The one thing that I've noticed with the website, I was telling Steve back in January, I think my website usage, I checked it 1 week. So I do this little Google analytics. If you're really crazy, you want to go look and see how your website's being used. And my website usage the last week of January was up 1,200%. So I think a lot of people were using it to get information. The registration tutorial is just that screen that I showed you that was a step-by-step. And then when school starts, I go to classes, classes where the teachers want me to come. A lot of them, the teachers really will take care of it on their own, but sometimes they want me to come in and actually talk about what concurrent enrollment is, especially our sophomore classes. Sometimes I'll help them complete admissions actually in class. I'll take these little forms around. They're pretty simple deadline forms, but I'll post them on bright pink or bright green paper, and they'll go at the front of every concurrent enrollment classroom. And that way kids really know deadlines. Like I push deadlines like nothing else. We use daily announcements and our school announcements. Everybody has those. I created a Remind 101 group. You can generate your own code. I think I'm one of those people that just gets really annoyed when they have such random codes to join a Remind 101 group, but you can create your own code. And so I just made mine really basic, MMHS CE. And then I get quite a bit of parent involvement on the Remind 101, not so much students, but I do have a lot of parents that will message me on that Remind 101 app. So that's kind of helpful to answer questions there. The CRN, that's the course offerings. I give this to counselors. We have it printed out in the front office, the counseling office, it's in my office. So kids can really see. So this is our fall one of the classes that we have, who teaches it. We do a recommended grade level. That was something that the counselors wanted to have because so many parents wanted to know. Sometimes they can't do it, like things like, you know, English 1010 or 2010, they can't do till they're a senior. But sometimes, you know, our digital business apps or sometimes Spanish 3, a sophomore could take those classes. So that was something that our counselor asked us to do. So that's not really a UVU thing, but we do kind of offer that for our student to kind of have an idea of whether that's something appropriate for a sophomore to take. And so we have that all throughout the school as well. For the teachers, our teachers do a lot of the promotion as far as making sure students know about it and parents, but I do give them a parent email that they can edit and use. It's a little bit wordy, but a lot of them really just will kind of update it and send it. And that kind of just tells parents all the information about it. And it gives deadlines as far as if we're doing concurrent enrollment kickoff, final UVU deadlines, prerequisites, things for like ACT or AccuPlacer scores, and then final deadlines for registration. The teachers will type in their own CRN for that course, and then they'll send that out. And so I think that's been really helpful for teachers to use. Let me get that off the screen. For UVU specific, we get an enrollment report that they send us daily, and I filter that out and then send it to teachers so that they just see what's available to our school. But I make sure that all the teachers get it, all of our counselors get it, one of our admins assigned to concurrent enrollment. And so she gets that report and our registrar gets it every single day. And then if we have any other pertinent information that the school shared with us as far as UVU, if they have things that they need us to know, I'll also share that with the teachers or the administration. But that's pretty UVU specific. I don't get that from other schools. And then we have a teacher kickoff meeting. We go through all the information that the school is given out for the teachers, make sure they all know how the registration process works, make sure they know how deadlines work, that sort of thing. And then we're always looking for new class offerings that goes along with our planner. And so next year, I think we're offering 3 new classes, at least that we've submitted proposals for. And so we just constantly look for other classes that might be available that might benefit students, either get their gen ed certificate, or it might be another kind of concurrent enrollment, just what we're looking for, like elective class. And then at parent-teacher conferences, I always have signs up. I have to go to parent-teacher conference. I teach a class, and so I go there, but I always have signs up above me that say concurrent enrollment, come talk to me. And that's usually the longest line I get is parents and students who want to ask about concurrent enrollment. So I went through that kind of fast, but I got nervous all of a sudden, so I talked fast. So I'm open to questions, suggestions. You guys are welcome to use anything I have. I'm a sharer, so if there's something that you want, feel free to use it. If you have questions, I'm ready. I'm ready for them.
So Robyn, is that document that you have right there, is that something you could share in the chat? People kind of,
I think this is the one I shared. That some of you are on it, so I shared.
so you did share that one. Okay, awesome.
And all the links are, I think they're all working. I did this presentation for UVU the beginning of the school year for their coordinators. So I know probably Lisa's heard this one before and Rhonda. But yeah, all those links are open. I think if you need something, just request access and I'll make sure to share it. But I think everybody can see that now.
That's great. Thank you.
All right, Steve, you're closing us up.
Well, I was going to say just to the group, that document earlier, the one about registration that Robyn had that she showed with all the steps, that document really saved our office a couple years ago. If you guys recall when the sophomore by exception rule was taken away, almost, I guess it's almost 3 years ago. We were also in the middle of, we had lost our graphic designer to help us create something to update our processes. We also had a registration video tutorial that was now all of a sudden out of date and didn't make any sense. And so we were scrambling, and we actually, as Robyn said, we borrowed that tutorial that she had put together. We put it on our website and made some small tweaks just to make sure that we didn't leave Maple Mountain only in there in some of the text. But Robyn is really good at what she does. She's very thoughtful in her approach with students. And I would echo that same thing about all of the coordinators that we work with, and some of the trial and error things and the innovations that they've put together. So I couldn't have been more excited to present with Robyn, because I have benefited personally. Our office has benefited from some of her marketing expertise. And with that, if there are no more questions, thank you everyone for coming. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your schedules. And we'll drop our emails in the chat. If you do have additional questions for us, please feel free to reach out anytime. We'd love to chat.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for doing that. And I'm going to put this recording out on the UACEP website so people can see that. If you know of somebody who wasn't able to make it to today, then they can go and watch that on their own time. So thank you again very much. Great information. Great information. So it's good to see you all, and thank you again. Bye-bye.
Thank you.